we're going to talk about the Alliance version of D6.
Which you'll find in the player's manual on page 172. It's 4-player 2v2, basically.
So you could play with 2 players versus or 3 players versus. When you cross into a 4-player game, yes, you can play 4-player versus, but it drags on and it seems disengaging, but mechanically you 100% can do it. But so we've laid down the law and said, you know what, when you get 4 players, it is versus. It's the exact same game as before. All you need to know is that your teammate cannot be your GM, which means we usually sit across from each other. It's every other player. And that's pretty much it as far as turn order goes.
Here we have the Alliance deck, which is similar to the Heroic Quest deck, but you will only use this during your 2v2 games.
Now, the way this works is once a player ends his turn successfully, he's going to draw his 2 Heroic Quest cards. This is triggering his teammate to draw the 2 Alliance cards. So that's why you want a successful turn, because every time you draw your Heroic Quest, your teammate's going to draw his Alliance.
Now, the thing to keep in mind about the Alliance is some cards help, some cards hurt the opposition. What else will you find in the Alliance deck, Jesse?
The Alliance deck's a lot of fun. It's all those Mad Lib type fill-in-the-blank things. What's most important about it is every one of them have the red banner top, which means you will never play one of these cards in your turn. You're going to be playing it on your teammate's turn or on the opposing team's turn. So it's going to either help my teammate or it's going to hurt the other team. That is the sole function of an Alliance card. Okay, I'm going to talk a little bit about sharing items. If Corey, by whatever means necessary, moves into my space, it's his turn. We are now allowed to share things that we have. We could swap cards back and forth. I could just give him a card, I can give him gold, vice versa, as long as we're in the same space. Now, this is not an action. This is just the act of sharing. As long as it's one of our turns, so we can't wait for the other player and be like, oh, we're still sharing a space. As long as it's one of our turns, we're sharing the same space, we can now swap stuff back and forth. Something also to point out that's kind of important, what about sharing information? So if Corey comes across a card that says, if your teammate rents a horse, he could draw an advantage card. Is Corey allowed to say, hey Jesse, rent a horse real quick, because I got this card?
Right.
Or if I can say, Corey, go to Thick Brush, you can get gold there, I got this card. Are we allowed to say that? I've played it both ways. It's not a rule one way or the other. Y'all just decide before the game starts, are you allowed to share information? As far as ending the game, it is identical to the standard. Most glory points wins.
Now that is as a team total, not solo like you normally would. And then if you still have a tie between everyone, then you go to gold. Then after that, if there's still a tie, go on down to stats.
So we'll be clear, Corey and I are a team, we're gonna add together our points. Now let's just say we came up with 13 glory points and y'all did as well. We're going to total or gold, total or stats, and then the highest number wins.